My name is Jacob Rutzig, and you're listening to the 75th episode of Who's on Top.
And welcome back to episode 75 of Who's on Top. It is September 8th, 2021, and we have our 75th episode for you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. But let me introduce our analysts first. First, playing MLB The Show while on this podcast, we got the baseball captain, Jacob Casson.
What's up, guys? I'm the first grown-up baseball captain. Frisbee starts this week. Super excited. But let's talk some sports. And yes, I am playing MLB The Show.
Wonderful. And our other MLB The Show king, Daniel Fox up in Ithaca.
Don't compare me to Jacob, but glad to be here in Shana Tova.
Shana Tova to you. That's, again, appropriate because it's Rosh Hashanah. Next, we have underneath his Phi Slamma Jeremy banner, we got the namesake himself, Jeremy Giles.
As always, at your service, and Shana Tova.
Hey, he didn't mess that up. Maybe he's on his way to becoming a real Jew.
You know what I did on Rosh Hashanah?
What did you do, Jeremy?
I went to the zoo.
A Jew at the zoo. That's lovely. Next, we're moving on to our perv stash himself, Ellis Gordon.
What's good, guys? I did not go to the zoo, but Shana
Straight
Tova.
out of the Raphael Devers playbook.
Literally.
What inspired this mustache, Ellis?
Laziness.
Laziness. All right, so let's move on. All right, so after that very spooky segment, let's move on to football storylines for this season. We thought we'd take it division by division and then kind of work to the playoffs and maybe some accolades as well then. So, Ellis, you want to take us away with the AFC North?
So we're going to go like every person can give their prediction who wins it, and I think this actually is the hardest one to predict out of all of them.
I don't actually disagree with you, but I'll say my.
I am going to go. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson just does it again. But close second is Browns.
I think the Browns, they improved their defense a lot, which talent-wise, it was lackluster compared to the other AFC contenders. And that offensive line is the best in football. They have the best running back tandem in football. You give me Odell Beckham Jr. back, and they have good options. You know, they have Jarvis Landry, Austin Hooper, and Kareem Hunt, the best receiving back in football. And Baker Mayfield took a step forward last year. So I think they're going to go. I could see a 13-4 season.
All right, you know what? You convinced me. Hop on the Browns bandwagon. You convinced me.
And I don't trust the Ravens enough throwing the ball. I'm sorry, I don't. They don't have a number one receiver. How can I pick them to win the division when they don't have a number one receiver?
I think Andrews takes a step up and Bateman helps too, but I think overall Browns, I agree with you now, the Browns are going to win.
I also think this is the Browns' division to lose. Obviously, Ravens have a great shot with Lamar's athleticism, but as Ellis and Dan said, Ravens have had some issues throwing the ball, and I don't trust them in a 17-game season. So I don't think the Browns will be 13-4, but I do think the Browns will win the division.
You know what? I was going to go Browns, but no, we can't have a Browns sleep. Fuck it. I live in Baltimore right now. Let's get me some Ravens, man. Don't do Lamar Jackson like that. This man wins 80% of his games, and everyone's been calling him a bum, saying he can't throw. Let's see Baker Mayfield win 80% of his games for once. Come on. Let's see it, Baker. I'm sorry, but Lamar Jackson is miles better than Baker Mayfield. I understand the rest of the team is better, but I'm not picking a team with Baker Mayfield to win the division. I think they could win. Good. I do think the Browns are they the favorites? Probably. But you know what? I'm going to be a homer here. Let's go the Ravens. Let's go. Let's bring it in.
I think we're also sleeping a little bit on the Ravens defense, which is really good.
The Ravens defense is really good. I think the one team I will say that's out of it that was really good last year is Pittsburgh. I do think the J.K. Dobbins loss does hurt. I do think that really does hurt.
If J.K. Dobbins was there, I would pick the Ravens. But Dan convinced me with J.K. Dobbins to pick the Browns.
I usually do.
Corey. What's next?
All right, let's move on to the AFC East. Danny, I think you can take this one.
Yeah, I have the Bills. They're gonna go 13-4, and they're gonna win the division.
Led
They're
by
bringing
who?
back, I
Sorry,
think-
led by who?
So led by Josh Allen. No, they're led by Josh Allen. But they're returning, I think, 21 out of 22 starters from a team that went to the AFC Championship game. Their quarterback is 24. He's took a huge step forward last year, and he's still learning and getting better. The Diggs connection, like everything should just keep improving. And the Patriots made moves, the Dolphins made moves, but it's not enough to catch the Bills.
Yeah,
That was very
agree.
humble, Foxy.
This is
I
a
agree.
clear winner here with the Bills. I don't think the Pats or the Dolphins really have enough. But yeah, I think there's gonna be a clean sweep with the Bills. And yeah, Josh Allen could have an MVP type season, and this is definitely Bills division to lose.
I guess what I'd say is this. I think I'm obviously picking the Bills. I think they're the most likely, but I really do think people are sleeping on the Patriots and the Dolphins. Just because the Bills have been good for a few years. They've only been dominant for 1 year. It's hard. We don't know necessarily for sure that's going to continue. And I think people are underestimating the Patriots, to be honest. Like outside of Mac Jones, with all the players they added, this is a good team led by the best coach of all time. Like I'm not saying that the Patriots are going to win. I do think the Bills are going to win, but I certainly think the Patriots have a lot more of a shot than people are giving them.
All right. I
Jets have
think
no shot though.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Sorry, Jets.
I didn't say that.
Some
Zach
things we
Wilson
can
looks
all
good
agree
though.
on.
Zach Wilson looks good in preseason.
Actually happy with Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson has a decent season, I'll be happy. I don't really care a record. I just want Zach Wilson to do well.
Spoken like a true Jets fan. So let's move on to the AFC West. I think this is an interesting division this year. I think still really led by the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are clear favorites. I think they're the best in the AFC, so of course they'd be clear favorites. But I just do want to give a shout out to the other three teams. I think they're all solid teams. I don't think they're anywhere near the Chiefs, but I think we can overlook the Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers because how dominant the Chiefs are. But other than the Raiders' defense, both teams on both sides of the ball, all teams in this division, on all sides of the ball, are developing good football teams. So yeah.
I mean, yeah,
fully
just to
agree
like
with Ellis.
just to kind of reiterate what I guess Ellis and now Jacob are going to say, like if you're playing the Chiefs twice a year, that kind of makes you have to step up. And, I think Chargers are going to take a big step forward this year with Herbert. But I guess we'll see. Jake, what do you have to say?
Yeah, no, obviously Chiefs division, I think, no doubt. But the Chargers are going to make a run for their money. They're going to contest for the Chiefs. Obviously, playing the Chiefs twice a year has to hurt them. But this Chargers team is good. They're scary. Their defense is young. Their offense is young with a star quarterback who's very young. This should be a great. Obviously, Chiefs are going to win the division, but the Chargers and the Broncos are also pretty decent teams. And I think if the Broncos defense could carry them because they're not doing too much with Teddy Bridgewater. But yeah, Chiefs win this division, no doubt.
Yeah. I don't really have much to add. I kind of agree. I think the Chiefs easily win. I could easily see. I think the Chargers might make, and I might even predict them to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're a serious challenger to the Chiefs.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the AFC South. Who has anything to say about the AFC South then?
I'll start this one. I got the Titans winning this division. I think they're the clear favorites. Or maybe not the clear favorites, but in my opinion, they're the favorites. Healthy team. Colts can't say that. Wentz coming back from a foot injury and came back surprisingly early from a surgery. Gun him out a second. Let's go. But yeah, this Titans offense is scary. Bringing in Julio Jones and healthy Derrick Henry, looking for another rushing title, which is totally possible to hit 2K yards once again. And AJ Brown's gonna take a big step up. Julio can't be double teamed, which is obviously scary because we know what Julio can do. But I do think the Colts will be good. The Texans will not be. And the Jaguars, who really knows? Trevor Lawrence, rookie quarterback, you never know where that's going to go. But Titans division to lose.
Yeah, I'm not sure I entirely agree with that, to be honest. I definitely think it's a 2-game race because the Texans are just god-awful. And honestly, I don't think the Jaguars are going to be very good. Trevor Lawrence is great, don't get me wrong, but the rest of the team's still kind of shite. And they lost Travis Etienne, which is a big loss. But I don't know. I think I'd pick the Titans, but I had barely picked the Titans. Like the Colts are a good, really well run organization
Mhm.
that outside of the quarterback, but even when Wentz is healthy, maybe it'll be pretty good depending how Wentz is this year. But outside of the quarterback, that's like an incredibly well constructed team. And I
Yeah,
still think you have to give the Titans respect for what they did last year. That's why I'm picking them. But I would not be at all shocked if they don't do as well, partly without Arthur Smith and partly just because the Colts are really good.
I think 1 through 53, the Colts are the far better team. But the Titans there's just the floor with the ceiling they have. There's just too much talent on offense, and there's too many question marks with the Colts quarterback. And like, who's their number one receiver? Like, passive
Pittman.
prime T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman. Like,
Yeah.
Joe
I
Hilton's out
can't.
for most of the season.
And like, can I say, like, I think these are both playoff teams. The question
No,
is,
I actually
who wins the
got-
division.
I was gonna say I got the Colts winning this division. I think Wentz bounces back. That's primarily why I have them. I think Pittman is underrated. I think he does enough to get them. And I think they're a better run team without Arthur Smith. I like Vrabel, but they hired last time the offensive coordinator was an offensive coordinator. He led the 31st best offense in the league, so second last, and that was the Raiders team. So I just it's a vibe check on really Carson Wentz, but I think this Colts team takes a step up and wins the division.
All right. So let's move on to the NFC.
No. Let's
specifically.
do wild cards first. Let's do wild cards first for the AFC.
All right. So who are we taking wild cards to just sneak into the playoffs? Jake, you seem to have a pretty
I'm
strong
taking.
opinion.
Obviously, I got the Browns, Bills, Titans, Chiefs winning divisions. So I'm going Ravens, Chargers, and Steelers.
I'll go.
I like.
I got.
Oh, you go.
I'm sorry. I got the Ravens. Then I think the Chargers are 1 year out, so I'm taking them out. I got the Dolphins. I got the Ravens, Dolphins. Tua takes a step up, and I got the Steelers. I think their coaching is enough to get them to the last spot.
Yeah, I got the Ravens, Chargers as like my two that I feel confident about. And then it's like Steelers, Patriots, Dolphins, Colts. And it's going to be a dogfight. I probably lean towards the Colts for that last wild card spot.
I think for me, it's really hard because there's a lot of really good teams in the AFC. I think for me, since I picked the Ravens winning, Browns for sure are a wild card. Though even if the Browns win, I still think Ravens are very much a wild card. I think for me, I think the Patriots are a wild card. I really think they make it this year. And the last one's hard. Honestly, I kind of think I might have to go with the best quarterback and go with the Chargers. I just think with such a good quarterback, I think that'll carry them in.
All right. So NFC bound we are. All right. Let's start off reversed with the NFC South. Daniel, I'll give you your little platform now.
Dan Orlovsky, a genius analyst from ESPN, said 17-0 should be a realistic goal for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I mean, this team they brought back every starter. They are the most talented team in football. They have the second easiest schedule. I'm thinking 15-2 if we're being, conservative. Ooh, that was gross. And the NFC South isn't that good. I mean, the Panthers, they're a very interesting team with Sam Darnold, and there is some firepower there, as with the Falcons. And the Saints still have a good roster and Sean Payton, but I can't really trust Jameis Winston. So the Bucs are going to run away with this division objectively.
Agree.
I have a random question, just like Nada. Do you think the Bucks have one of the best lineups of all time? Because I really do. I think they have a top 5, top 10, like 53.
Like overall, off a 53-man
of all
roster.
time. Of all time.
How's
yeah.
the depth? I don't know how.
I think it's
Dude,
better than
I just
Good.
think their linebackers are so good. Like, I don't know.
Because I hate. I mean, credit to Tom Brady, but they all took pay cuts so they could sign their whole team.
Yeah,
back.
because of Tom. I think this team 1 through 53 is better than the 2007 Patriots.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is. I mean, they're going to lose a game here or there, but I think this is.
No, they will.
Yeah.
I think
I
this
don't really,
is
I
the
don't really
best.
know who. Maybe when they go to Los
I mean,
Angeles.
it'll be just
I
one
don't-
off game.
I mean,
Maybe
I
when
think
they
it'll-
play the
Also,
Bills.
sorry, real
I think
quick,
it'll-
your
I just
your
feel
two
like-
Arians, your two Arians is best offense Arians of like
Eh,
statistically
let's see if
ever.
he-
So
Let's see if he keeps showing up drunk though.
so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think they're going 17-0, but I think they'll be very, very good. And
Only way
we'll-
this stops them is if Brady somehow like regresses, which I doubt. I'm not predicting anymore.
I mean, it's gonna happen at some point, but I doubt it.
Will it? Will it? I don't know.
It has to eventually. He is.
No, it doesn't.
He looked bad the last first 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden he was good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they were too inconsistent last year to make
That felt like an at Adam Lefko.
No, I'm just saying like they figured like the way they played.
Ellis, he can't go
the
on the
second
road
half.
in a playoff in a cold weather state and win a playoff game.
Mute him. I hate.
Green Bay is warm. It's too warm in Green Bay. That doesn't count.
I hate him. He didn't play
I just
well.
tell you what.
didn't play well.
I'm just telling. I did do 3 tutties.
All right. Anyway, point is this is the best defense in the league and second best offense, so they're gonna win the division.
Let's move on to the NFC West. I'm going to talk a little bit about Matthew Stafford and his new crew. You know, I hate to see him go, but I think that LA is a great fit for him. He has 2 really, really capable wide receivers, which, you know, he has for a lot of years in Detroit. Like they've produced some pretty good receivers, but I mean, these are 2 talented receivers under Jared Goff. So let's see what Matthew Stafford can do with them. They got still one of the best defensive units with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, both probably the top at their position, if not the top. So I think Rams are poised for a big year this year. Seahawks, Russell Wilson's getting a little old. I mean, the chemistry
No, he's
is still.
not.
Yeah, he is.
He's 30
He's 30.
at least.
He's like 36, I thought.
No, he's
No.
not. Not even close. I'll look up his
Oh.
age right
32.
Russell?
now. 32.
All right, then
Yeah.
Russell's, I guess, in prime years. Tyler Lockett's getting older. Is that true?
That's not really. He's like 28.
What the
Not that
fuck?
old.
I
is
think
getting
all
older.
these
He is getting
people are
older.
all these people are older.
People are saying Tyler Lockett regressed. He just had a bad end of year, but that's not.
No,
a
he
regression.
didn't even.
Well,
I mean, he had 2 games with 3 touchdowns. That's not a bad year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Tyler Lockett's capable of blowing up. DJ Metcalf is well more consistent. Is DK Metcalf well more consistent? Is still incredibly good. But I think this is a Rams division to lose. Honestly,
I also agree with you there. I think this is now the most competitive division in football. I think
Yeah.
record-wise, I think all 4 teams really could honestly win it.
Last year it should have been, but the Niners got injured.
Yeah,
I mean,
do
they got
think
2
the Rams
playoff
will win
teams.
this
The
division,
Cardinals just missed.
but
Rams.
the Cardinals definitely have a shot. Seattle definitely has a shot, and this is gonna be a star-studded division.
I don't know if I
Two
think the Cardinals have a shot, to be honest. No, I
No,
think
they
the
do.
Cardinals. I think they have a shot of making the playoffs. I don't know if I think they have so much of a shot of winning the division. I just think the other teams in the are too good, to be honest.
I wish they were more well-rounded.
if Kingsbury's a bad
defense and
coach, but otherwise they would be good. They could win.
I wish they were more well-rounded on defense and had a better running game. But if James Conner turns back the clock, like they're a very scary team.
If they got a competent coach, they could easily win the division, but it's not gonna happen.
all right. Anything else about the NFC West?
NFC East. NFC
The thing I
East.
will say is I really think that this could be a division with 3 playoff teams. I absolutely think that's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think all these teams are very talented, and if they were anywhere else except for the NFC West, they would probably win their division or at least get a wild card. But fortunately, they have to play each other all the time. So a lot of fireworks coming from this division this year. Let's move on to the NFC East. Jake, I'll give this one to you.
New York Football Giants. That's it.
You think they're winning? Legitimately?
Some real analysis. I do think they will win the division. Actually, no, I don't.
I mean,
think
I think we're coming from like probably the best division in football to probably the worst division in football.
Yeah, worse, but potentially the most competitive.
I think the NFC West and the NFC East are competitive, but for very different reasons. Very different reasons.
I do think, obviously, I think the Eagles have no shot, but the other 3 teams, I think they all have a shot at winning. And
I mean,
last year.
with Dak Prescott throwing for 6,000 yards, I think.
All right, their defense sucks. Last year with the Giants, Daniel Jones had no Kenny Galladay, had no Saquon, and obviously he didn't have the best season. But I think with the big play potential that both those players provide, the Giants offense is going to take a huge step from last year. They signed Adoree Jackson. James Bradbury is a top 5 cornerback. Giants have a great secondary, top 7 secondary in football. Defensive line is returning. Leonard Williams, the big cat, he's back for more sacks. But obviously, Washington's there. Washington's defense is fantastic. Also, young star running back, Antonio Gibson. But I do think the Giants will take the division, being totally honest.
I think
all right,
it's.
can I
I
go?
think. Let me go for a second. I think it's
Some
utterly.
bias definitely there. But I do think the Giants have a good shot. But I think Washington definitely has the same shot that the Giants do.
I think it's utterly impressive that Jacob can deliver like extremely coherent football takes while playing MLB The Show. So congratulations, Jake.
Thanks, Chief.
I'll say this about I don't have the Giants winning. I think the pieces are there. I just don't predict I think Daniel Jones is too not composed in the pocket to
He's gonna have a Josh Allen type season.
Yeah, well, he needs to, and I think all the pieces are there. I
He
just don't know if
totally
I
could.
trust
That's
the
the
talent.
thing. He totally
I
could.
agree.
He couldn't.
My winner,
Yes, he could.
though. Yes, he could. My winner. He has one of the best deep balls in the league. My winner, though, of the league is the Washington football team. While people are sleeping on this Giants defense because it is a top 10 defense for sure, people don't respect them. The football team, their respected defense, they do respect the defense, and they have a top 5 defense. Plus, people are sleeping on this offense. Fitzpatrick is a good QB. McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Antonio Gibson. That's not a big 3. That's a solid core. Logan Thomas is there as a safety net. They're going to get their points. I think Fitzpatrick gets his first playoff game.
I think I kind of. Well, first of all, Daniel Jones. I think.
Oh, sorry. Cowboys are their offense is by far the best in this league, but their defense, I think they crumble because of their defense.
Well, first of all, can I say 2 things? First of all, with Daniel Jones, I think Daniel Jones could have a good year. I just think the Josh Allen year is ridiculous. I don't think it's ridiculous to say he'll have a good year and his best year yet. I don't think that's ridiculous at all, especially since it's so far it's looked like Joe Judge is actually a pretty good coach at the second year in the system. With that said, I think I trust the Cowboys in the football team a little bit more, just because the football team's defense, I feel like, is a little bit more consistent. And I feel like I just trust Ron Rivera a bit because he's a very good coach. And however, I do think often you see games go based on quarterbacks. And the best quarterback in this division, I think, is very clearly Dak this year. I don't think there's really any arguments of that.
6,000 yards, Dak.
I'm not saying 6,000 yards, but I do think that Dak can carry this team through a lot. I honestly think I'd say the Cowboys are going to win just because I think that the defense is not good, but I don't think it'll be as historically bad as it was last year. And I think even a subpar defense that's not historically bad with this offense could be enough to win this division.
I honestly can't wait for Dak to actually throw 6,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and me to laugh at all you guys.
I don't think the Cowboys are physical enough to compete with the football team and the Giants. I think this division is going to be ugly, and there's going to be a lot of 17-14, 21-18 games. I didn't want to say 21-17 because that would be both scores. The Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. But if it comes down to if Saquon stays healthy. If Saquon stays healthy, the Giants, I think, are going to win this division. They're not going to win more. No one's winning more than 10 games, but the Giants just have a better overall. And you can't tell me that Ryan Fitzpatrick is a more valuable quarterback than Daniel Jones.
No.
With what Daniel Jones brings to the table, running the ball.
Yeah,
and the
think
Giants
Ryan
play
Fitzpatrick
physical defense. And I think have a better secondary than the football team, even though the football team has a great pass rush. So I'm going to agree with Jacob. I'm going to say the Giants win the division.
I think you're undervaluing Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is.
He's 38. He's 38. Yeah, he's fun. He's fun.
Look what he did in Miami. Look what he did in Miami.
How old is Brady? How old is Brady? How old is Brady?
Oh, get that out of here.
How old is Brady?
I'm not going into a season. Fitzpatrick is fun. He's weird, but you can't go into a season saying Ryan Fitzpatrick's team is the favorite.
Look what he did.
Super
Look what he did.
Division.
I can. Look what he did last year versus Miami.
Okay, but that
Miami
was
would've
like
won.
With Miami. Also,
To be fair,
Jason Garrett
Miami would've
is
won
a
this division
booty
last
cheeks
year.
offense. I
Miami
don't know why I'm
would've
arguing against the
absolutely won this
Giants.
division last year.
no, you can't. No, no,
Sorry,
no,
I'm sorry.
no, Fitz,
This
no
Jason Garrett
Fitzpatrick.
is a booty
No,
cheeks
I do
offensive
see
coordinator.
Dan's.
You're
I do see
sleeping on
Dan's point, though,
Fitzpatrick
about
a
the
lot.
Is that
Look at his
it-
And I
stats the
love
last 2 years.
Fitzpatrick. I love Fitzpatrick, but like
Look at his stats last 2 years. You guys are sleeping on a good QB.
Sports Illustrated has the Bucks losing to the Patriots. That's not gonna happen, buddy.
He has, I mean, yeah, I know. Dan's favorite team is not favorite team. But yeah, Fitzpatrick last year in 14 games had a where's the stat? Had a 68.5% completion percentage of 2,000 yards. And he got benched halfway through because they were playing Tua. But
I don't
that
care
team-
about completion
that team
percentage
was
in
tied.
yards.
That team was tied. Fitzpatrick had a great year last year. He is the second best QB in the division.
I
and it's
don't
not
like.
close.
Yeah, he's fun, and he could win them some games. But you can't win a division
You
with
really
Ryan
think
Fitzpatrick.
I'm
He's
a
never done
Giants
it.
fan.
He's
You
never
really
done
think
it.
Daniel Jones? You really think Daniel Jones is better than
I
Ryan
think Daniel
Fitzpatrick?
Jones has a lot
Yeah,
more potential.
I think Fitzpatrick is a
I'm
better
not-
thrower. He's better
Yeah,
thrower, but
Daniel, the
Jones
thing
runs
is
the
that-
ball is more
Like,
valuable.
who would I rather on my team? Daniel Jones. I think he has a lot of
No, he's
potential to get a
31.
lot
I
better.
rather Fitzpatrick.
But if you compare Fitzpatrick and Jones last year, I don't know if you take Jones. I think you might take Fitzpatrick. to be honest.
Fitzpatrick, no.
I just
I
don't-
think they're actually
Fitzpatrick has
now
been on
arguing
some.
for it. Now arguing for it, I was just going to say I'm actually now more entrenched that I think the football team is going to win this division. I just think the Bruisers up front, well coached team, and people are seriously sleeping on this offense as they're everything's going to be trash. I think they're going to be around 10 to 15 offense, which is enough to get them to win the division.
I don't see how you could say at 39. Fitzpatrick has never made the playoffs, and he's been on some good teams. Those like turn of the century Bills teams are pretty good. He was on the 2015 Jets, who had a great defense. But I don't
but
see how you could be like,
collapse.
this is the year. This is the year.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's in a weak division. That's actually why it's the year. That's the reason.
Okay,
Because
well,
also
I'm
think-
picking the Giants. I think they play really physical defense. I think they're a disciplined, well-coached team. And I think having Saquon back and adding Kenny Golladay makes a big difference.
Okay, I think that's a fair way to end it.
No, we
yeah.
still have a division.
So
We'll
we got
end this
one more
part.
division
Oh.
to go. And that would be the NFC North. So any takers here?
Packers done.
Unfortunately.
The wild card.
Well, unless
Packers,
Aaron Rodgers.
pretty
Well,
easy.
actually,
Ah,
no, they might have a better
Yeah.
chance.
The
if Jordan
Bears.
Love is in there.
Aiden says.
That's
Bears.
all I have to say. Duh Bears.
Yeah. After I took Darnell Mooney from you in the fantasy. Okay.
No, he's so,
So-
good. He's so good.
Darnell. Yeah. Ellis loves Darnell Mooney.
So good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I took
He has one of the
it
best.
from Peyton.
He has one of the best separation.
He has good separation, Ellis.
He has one of like the best separation. I don't know what the stats called, but separating from.
I know what
QBs
you
in, like,
mean.
the
Yeah.
league. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, let me make you the case for the Lions here. So the Lions have a workhorse back. They have Amon St. Ra,
Who?
Not even his name.
Amon Ra St. Brown. That I used to watch Amon Ra St. Brown's training camps in one-on-ones. So I can tell you he's really good in high school. Additionally, Jared Goff is a Super Bowl quarterback, and that's more than Matthew
Hey,
Stafford
Ori,
could ever say.
Name a defensive player on the Lions.
Ziggy Ansah.
Name one more.
What?
What do you mean? What, Daniel?
No, I'm just saying that it's disrespectful to Ori.
Yeah. So regardless,
Wait, no, name one more.
I can't. I'm not.
Oh, maybe it's not disrespectful.
No. I'm honestly I'm focused on the offense this year. We're gonna break all sorts of records. And I can name you another defensive star, and that would be our coach who wants to bite people's kneecaps off. So excited for a line season. Legitimately, do we think
Also,
any of
Ziggy
these
Ansah
teams-
is just not on the Lions anymore.
No, he's not. He's not. Do we
Jeez,
think
that's a
that
rough one.
that any of the other teams can make a push, or is this the Packers division to lose?
Packers. Let's move on to wild card.
Vikings could
Well,
make a wild card.
yeah.
Not
I-
this.
People are sleeping on the Vikings. I mean, their talent, like their offensive talent, is really as well, like running back,
Yeah,
receivers,
they're all gonna
top
get
two
knocked
receivers,
out
as
for
good as
COVID.
anybody. And Kirk Cousins is a functional quarterback. They're getting a lot of defense back. And, probably can't compete with the Packers, but 10 and 11 games in a wild card is a viable option. And Mike
They're the
Zimmer's a good
least.
coach.
They're the least vaccinated team in the NFL.
I will also say Peyton will be very happy for me to say this, but I do think that people are sleeping on the Bears a little bit. Am I predicting them to make the playoffs? No, but I think if Justin Fields can play well and he's looked good in preseason and everything we've seen about him, I do think that they could be a decent playoff team. Do I think they're going to win the division? Hell no, but I do think they could be a playoff team.
All right, so let's talk wild card. What's going on?
I have the aforementioned Vikings going first. I mean, not going first, but that's my first wild card. And then 2 teams from the NFC West. It's going to be close. I'm going to go with the Seahawks, and I'm going to go with the 49ers, just getting their defense back. Saints have too many question marks. NFC East is a mess. And, so those are my wild card teams.
Yeah, I'm going to go with San Fran, Seattle, and also the Vikings.
Oh, King always right. Well, if we both say it, we must.
I am going with 49ers, Seahawks, and then Saints.
I'm gonna go Lions. So after that substantive,
I need to put mine.
All right, Jeremy.
So I think for me, it's clearly 49ers and Seahawks. The third one is hard. I really feel like it's kind of wide open. There isn't really another team that I think's that good in the NFC, to be honest. I'm sure one will pop up, but I might say Vikings.
Okay, so after we have our seasons in the mix, let's talk about some accolades. Let's talk about some Super Bowls. So, first of all, Super Bowl matchups. What's going to go on here? I think we'll let the reigning Super Bowl champion Daniel Fox take it over.
Yes, sir. I've got the Bucs winning the NFC. I think one last run. I mean, I don't think that's controversial. And I just think the wear and tear for the Chiefs of 3 straight, deep playoff runs, deep into February, mentally, that takes a toll on you. So I think the Bills are hungry. I forget who said that, but someone said, you always got to look at the teams who come really close the year before. So I think the Bills are hungry. I think they're fired up. I think they're still getting better. And they're bringing back their whole team. They're on a mission. I got Bills, Bucs, Super Bowl.
Bills, Bucs, baby. Quite a turnaround from saying Josh Allen's a fucking mess, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? The very few instances I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
All right.
There's very few minutes he'll admit he's wrong. That's a better way to say it.
So moving on to the other side of the Josh Allen coin. Ellis, what do you have going on?
I'm going to be boring, but I think it's the same 4 teams make it back to the AFC finals and NFC finals. So I think Bucs, Packers. I'll give it to the Bucs. I think the Packers could surprise people. Fox doesn't say anything.
The only surprise.
And then
I'll be surprised by the Packers is if Aaron Rodgers goes the season without throwing a teammate under the bus.
And then the Rams are the team. The Rams are the team to watch as the underdog. And then for the AFC, I think Bills again versus Chiefs. I think the opposite happens. I think the Chiefs are hungry to prove they can win more. I think especially Mahomes. I think it's the right attitude. I think they go back and take the Super Bowl. That's my prediction.
Paul, breaking news. Joey Gallo got a hit. Good for him. He needs it.
Anyway.
Thank you. Jeremy, what do you have going on here?
I actually don't think it's the same. I think it's 3 of the 4 teams return. I think it's Chiefs and Bills, and then I think it's the Bucs return. I don't think the Packers get back there, to be honest.
Jeremy.
Not with Aaron last year. I actually think, I don't know which one, but I think a team from the NFC West makes it to the conference championships. I don't know whether that's going to be Seattle. I don't know whether that's going to be the Rams. I don't know whether that's going to be the 49ers. I think I'd predict Rams, but that's what's interesting about the 49ers, right? They're a team that really, they could not make the playoffs or they could win the Super Bowl. And I don't think I'd be surprised either way.
Wait, can I just say how sad that last dance thing is that the Packers are doing? Maybe, why don't you focus on your first dance, buddy? Why don't you focus on Aaron Rodgers not shitting the bed?
Well, I
in the
do agree with
championship game
you
for the
that-
first time.
Well, I do agree with you that it's sad. That's just not statistical shit, whatever. Well, I do agree with you that it's sad. I think sadder is the fact that you let Aaron Rodgers be the center of your life because one middle school boy tweeted that Aaron Rodgers is better
He's
than
not the
Tom.
center of my life. He's
And you
so
took
far
that to heart.
beneath me.
And you took that
So
to
far
heart.
beneath me.
And you took a middle school's troll tweet
Literally,
to
a
heart.
lot
And
of
have
people
been
say it. A lot of people
Yeah.
go on Twitter.
Who?
a lot of middle schoolers say Aaron
People!
Rodgers.
Who are
Fox.
these people? Dan, you
These-
can't name a
these
single
kid-
person in
these
your life
kids-
that's said.
These kids live in your head rent free for no reason.
Because they're stupid.
Anyone that's smart knows that Aaron Rodgers, while amazing, Tom Brady's better. But it's pathetic that you have to argue against these middle school little boys that Aaron Rodgers is bad.
Not just middle
Anyway,
schoolers.
move on. Name a respected analyst that thinks Brady is Rodgers better than Brady. All right, let's move on while Dan thinks of it.
Rob
Okay.
Parker.
You guys hear me or no?
I
Shit.
honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think I feel like, honestly, you know what? I might feel like the Bills, maybe. I think the Bills.
All right.
Bucks. I
You guys hear
don't
me or
want to
no?
agree. I think it's gonna
Yeah, I
be.
heard you, Jacob.
I think it's gonna be the Bills, Bucks, or Bills, Rams, or possibly
Alright.
Chiefs.
Can you guys hear
I'd
me?
say Bills, Bucks is gonna be my prediction.
Yes, Jacob. I
I want to be true to myself. Chiefs, Bucks. Boring, but it's true.
All right. Run back the repeat. Let's move on to rookies we wanted to do. Outstanding rookies from this year. And being the Mac Jones train. Danny, what do you think?
Offensive rookie of the year, I think, is going to go to Zach Wilson. No. It's going to go to Trevor Lawrence. One of those two, because they're going to be starting from day one. And I don't love the running backs, Najee Harris. And I think Trevor Lawrence is just more ready. He has more around him to succeed right away. And then defensive rookie of the year, I don't think they're going to give it to a cornerback. So I'm going to go Micah Parsons.
All right, for myself, I didn't get to say my Super Bowl prediction because my Wi-Fi was being terrible. Screw you, Syracuse. But I'm going Bucks Chiefs as well. A little repeat. I think Chiefs take this one. Rookie of the year. I'm gonna go Kyle Pitts. I think he's gonna have a great year. I think he's gonna have an all-time rookie tight end season and an all-time tight end season in general. Defensive rookie of the year, either Michael Parsons or Patrick Surtain, great cornerback and a great linebacker there. But I do think Surtain has the edge. I think he's gonna have a great year with the Broncos.
T-Law, Patrick Surtain, and then MVPs are defense. I'll go defensive. I'll go TJ Watt.
Saquon Barkley,
and
comeback
then-
player of the year.
Yeah, sure. And then for offensive MVP, I'll go Brady.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll go
I told
Josh
you
Allen.
that. Brady's
Josh
I wasn't
Allen.
going to go
Brady.
Brady.
I go Josh
Oh my
Allen
God, this is weird, 'cause
MVP.
I'm gonna go Josh Allen for offensive
too.
player of the year.
Me too.
What's going on right now?
We're in what's that place called? So something
Twilight
zone.
Zone.
The Twilight
Twilight
Zone.
Zone.
We're in the Twilight Zone. And defensive player of the year, I said it earlier, TJ Watt.
Let's move on to quick predictions. Or
Wait, I need to get something.
I didn't know Jeremy would go. Sorry.
Wow, I see how it is. So for my MVP and offensive player of the year, honestly, I kind of think Brady. I do think Brady.
Jesus Christ, what's going on?
Brady or Josh Allen, but I think I'd pick Brady. And
You know what? Fuck it. I can't let myself sleep at night if I pick Josh Allen over Tom Brady. So Tom Brady's my offensive player of the year.
Okay.
Okay, Josh Allen's my offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
No, it's actually Tom
Yeah,
Brady, but
let's
I love
go.
Josh Allen.
I think
Blade
Josh
runner.
Allen could eat. I easily think he could.
The blade.
And then for my
runner.
defensive player of the year, honestly, I kind of think Nick Bosa. I think he comes out and does it.
It's the matchup, the MVP matchup. Blade Runner versus Get Off My Lawn. All right, this wacky sport of the week brought to you by Top End Sports, supplying you with all the wacky sport of the weeks. It's actually not, like 50%. All right. Have you ever had a dog? Have you ever played Just Dance? Well, think about mixing the two. Canine freestyle dancing is a dog sport, which can be best described as a test for obedience, tricks, and dance. Pretty much you train your dog to do a dance routine, and they
Hey,
do it.
that works with Jeremy too. Tricks, obedience,
know.
and dance.
I know freestyle. They do free. There's a
Honestly-
freestyle healing event, a musical freestyle event in which
Wait,
they
freestyle? Jeremy does that too.
I know. This has just really come out like the Jeremy dance event. But yeah, so those are the two events, freestyle healing, in which if the dog gets on two hind legs and has to do a bunch of like spins and stuff like that, and then freestyle is just freestyle.
I can do spins
And
too.
as you can imagine, it's hard, and the trainers get I don't know what they get. Oh, you actually play music, and then it's like a whole dance routine, like the Olympics. And the dancers and the dog dress up in a theme, but which is interesting to say the least. But yeah, it sounds like a fun thing to watch. So that is our wacky sport of the week, and let us finish up this episode of the podcast. If you want to start your own podcast, go on Buzzsprout. You can do a free plan or premium plan. The premium plan comes with a $25 Amazon gift card. Get your ideas out, and it's nice, simple, easy platform to use. Now talking about our podcast, who's on top, follow our social media. That's our Twitter at what.podcast, wot.podcast. Dan's back, posting updates when the podcast is out, and our Instagram, the same thing, wot.podcast. We have Photoshops, stories, all like the polls, all like the stuff. Plus, you can use the link in our bio on our Instagram and Twitter to listen to the podcast. YouTube, if you want to see a visual, we post highlights sometimes to episodes. If it's like a special episode, that's who's on top, WHO-SONT_SONTOP with the spaces. Notifications bell, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what's up. Even now, the older audience who's been listening to us know what's up. Thanks, Ori. Now, if you just want to listen to the whole podcast, we are literally everywhere but Amazon. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos. And you can look at who's on top.
Jeffrey Bezos. Sorry.
You can look up who's on top. We use our link on Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. You can always don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can always know when the new podcast is out. We usually come out once a week on the weekends. Thank you for listening for 75 episodes. Pretty big accomplishment. Congrats, boys. Congrats, listeners, for sticking it out. Hope to bring back hope to continue with another 75 great episodes. All right, I think that's all the announcements. Have a great week. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Stay healthy, and goodbye.